Hello again, this is Tanya with Tinkerin' and Ink with Tanya, and I have another fun summer fruit card to share with you. We're going to be using the Fresh Fruit stamp set. It has a ton going on here. Some birthday sentiments, some thinking of you, love you, thank you, and I'm going to use it for a thank you card this time. This is a really cute suite in the catalog, and I honestly don't use much designer series paper. You can see some swatches of the designer series paper that's available that coordinates with this, and it's called Fruit Stand. Fruit Stand designer series paper. And there's a bunch of things that coordinate with it. And today, since I don't have the DSP, I'm going to create my own. These are some fun peaches. I did try another method or technique that I will possibly make another video for later, but we're going to get started with this card. So the card stock we're going to need is just a crumb cake card base. It starts out as 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Then we have a 4 by 5 1/4 inch white whisper white cardstock, and this is a strip of, I believe it's 1 inch by. It's a scrap. It's a scrap from my scrap bin, let's be honest. And that's going to make the banner for the sentiment. And we're going to emboss that with some copper, and I have some copper thread now. Yay! We're also going to use the brick wall embossing folder, and oh wait, no we're not. This is coming later. So let's get started with our stamping. We are going to use Peekaboo Peach and Watermelon Wonder and Emerald Envy and some Versamark. We're going to need the Peekaboo Peach and the Watermelon Wonder first. And I'm going to pull out my, since this is a big solid stamp and it's photopolymer, it's best to do it on your piercing mat. And I don't want to get ink all over my piercing mat, so I have a scrap of paper here that's, I guess, a little well loved here. I am looking for this. All right, so first off, we're going to ink up with the Peekaboo Peach, and then we're going to use a sponge dauber. I always just label mine with a piece of washi tape and what color I'm using. Ink that up a little bit from the ink pad and then dab along. I'm doing one edge, the middle, and just like a couple highlights on the other side. Then I'll start in one corner. Hold that down so that, I didn't push quite hard enough. But with that watercolory look on this stamp set, that won't make any difference. And I apologize again for all the coughing and throat clearing. My asthma is not happy several times a year, and this is one of them, of course. So between each impression, you're going to want to clean your stamp because you don't want to contaminate your Peekaboo Peach pad with the Watermelon Wonder. That's not the color you're going for. I'm going to just kind of rotate this stamp around a little bit. Nice firm pressure. You can almost see the ink release from the stamp onto the paper each time. Ink it up again. Do a little dabbing. Hope this isn't boring. But you can kind of see how it's going to look. And this one could use a little softening. Down here. Oh. Hope you could see that. Oh, I just threw my rag on the floor. That was good. You know, you don't have to pick up ink from the Watermelon Wonder pad every time. It can be a habit, though. Let's see, how did I kind of form that pattern? I'm gonna stagger, so this one's gonna be kind of between these two. And let's have it pointing more up. You really don't have to put this much thought into it. I just do. So it's just a process of clean, stamp, ink it up, dauber a little bit for accent, and repeat. I don't know about you, but I adore peaches. They are so tasty. But in northern Minnesota, it's kind of tough to get a good peachy peach. Most of the time we get them, they're kind of, we'll just say they're not ideal. They're usually a little woody tasting and kind of dry. So you just dream about the juicy peaches that the juice runs down your chin as you take a big bite. Now the woody peaches are still acceptable, especially if you make them in a dessert. Something about baking and adding the spices tends to bring out the wonderful flavor of peach. I'm an avid tea drinker, and one of my favorite teas is called Georgia Sunrise. It's a black tea with peach and ginger, and it's amazing. Yeah, I wish I could have some right now, but I don't have that one brewed up right now. What do I have? Fireside, which is a lovely black tea with lots of fruity and spicy undertones, so not so bad either. All right, just trying to fill in a little bit of the edges to make sure it looks like this has been stamped from or cut from one bigger sheet. So we're going to close these before, oh no, we're not. We're going to do one more peach. We're going to do it on the inside of the card. May as well do that while we have everything out for that. Move that aside. Open up our card base. Ink up one more time with the Peekaboo Peach. Dab, dab, dab. Now we're going to hold this one down a little longer. Just going to go in the corner. That way it doesn't interfere with any message you want to write. Look at that. I'm always amazed at how well Crumb Cake will take ink, other inks. Honestly, one of my favorite cardstocks to work with. All right, let's open up the Emerald Envy. And we'll ink up the double leaves here. And I like to just overlap that just a little bit. Line it up with the seam. And no, I don't think this looks like a butt crack. I've seen lots of butt cracks. I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm an emergency room nurse. That doesn't look like a butt crack. So don't listen to those people out there talking about that. So we're just going to fill in our little stem and leaves. I like the leaves to overlap just a little bit on the peach. Just shows that they're extra plump and juicy, and I can tell already that I need to clean off the edge of my stamp because I'm leaving some marks where I don't mean to. Now, if this was your card, would you start over? Depends, huh? Of course, I could add some green speckles to the card. That might make it look a little more artistic. I'm not. I'm just going to leave it for the sake of time. All right, next step, we want to stamp the thank you in Versamark. And I need my little embossing buddy. He keeps getting buried. We don't need the scratch paper. It might be a little distracting. Ink up a thank you with some Versamark. We'll center that. I love the photopolymers this way because you can see exactly where you're stamping everything. And some copper embossing powder. Love this stuff. We'll see how long it takes me to go through an entire canister because I use it all the time. It might be hard to brush that off of there if I miss any. we're getting close to done here. I'm going to heat emboss this quick. Looks pretty good. All right, time to trim that down to the right size. So first off, I want to dovetail this. Ooh, I need to clean the scissor up. I have a tip for that. Okay, again, I'm a nurse. I have alcohol wipes come home in my pocket all the time. They come in handy for cleaning adhesive off of your scissor. How about that? And you can pick these up. You can pick up a box of alcohol wipes pretty cheap at a pharmacy. I think they're like $1 or $2 for, I don't know, 100, 250. Diabetics would know. If you have any diabetics in your family, because they usually use these to clean their finger before they poke their finger to check their blood sugar. Or at least we do in the hospital. I don't know at home. So, there was my quick little tip for the video. So now we want to trim this down. It doesn't have to be quite as long as that one. Just lay it on your card how you think you're going to like it. Well, I can cover one of those little green specks. Okay, so I want to trim it off right about there. Okay, so now lay that on the track. Trim that off. I'm going to pause the video while I go stitch this. It's a little hard to take the camera to my sewing machine. Be right back. Oh, changed my mind. I want to put the copper thread down before we stitch this. So let's take a little bit of copper thread. I did do it the other way with my first card. In fact, I'd forgotten I had copper thread. And then I remembered after I'd completed it. So I got the copper thread and risked bending my sentiment banner too much and causing creases. So I don't want to do that this time. We'll be smart. So I'm going to put that banner right thereabouts. So we'll put our little nest of copper thread there first. Tuck the tails in. Spread it out a little bit. Don't fuss too much about placement. It's supposed to be messy and random and artsy-fartsy. Okay, now time to go stitch. Alright, that panel is all stitched. And once again, I'm going to use the coasters to create some dimension. So we'll put some adhesive. Okay, I use an ATG gun because I found one for a good price. We do have fast fuse with Stampin' Up! That you could use. You could do liquid glue. Our Tombow multi-something. I can't remember the exact phrase. But it's the green top mono Tombow. I can't use that. There's latex in it and I have an allergy to it. But it is amazing glue. And I was really sad when I had to stop using it. I bet that would work very well for this also. So adhesive the heck out of that. You could use a ton of dimensionals. You could glue this down flat. I just like that little extra lift it gives the card. Alright, so there is our completed card with a cute little peach on the inside. I love how that turned out. Alright, so you can go to my blog to get the full list of supplies that I used to create this card and the dimensions, although they're pretty simple. If you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to fill that role for you, for me, of course. Let me know in the comments below or contact me on my Facebook page and I'll send you a catalog. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And until next time, bye-bye now.